Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi everyone, my name's Jonathan Clarke, and I've been creating Descendants of Zombies content for you guys for what feels like a generation. A generation that I felt more than honored to be a part of because you made it happen for me. You saw something special in every video I created through the stories I share with you about being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, the stories about Freya, the stories about Kylie, because I undeniably saw something special in them, and I love them with all of my heart. I can't lie. And that's what brought us that much closer together. So thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel. And if you're somebody new here, it is my profound honor to meet you and to join you to have these conversations every night. I think you will think this YouTube channel to be the coolest YouTube channel you've ever watched in your life. But I know how YouTube works. As the content creator, I've got to give you a reason to hit my subscribe button. I just can't say, hi everyone, my name's Jonathan Clarke. I've got this really cool Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel here that I would love for you to subscribe to. I've got to present you with a case in point. And if you give me a chance at least over the next 15 minutes, which I know is a really long time for a lot of people because you got places to be, people to fall in love with, things to do, I get it. But if you give me at least 15 minutes, I promise you I will give you a reason more than you perhaps ever been given by anybody to hit that subscribe button, because I think this could be the YouTube channel for you. Because you see, I've always saw something special in your favorite stars, and I wanted to showcase that better than anybody else ever could. I wanted to have these conversations that would some way or somehow leave you inspired and touch your heart. Because if I couldn't touch your heart, then I didn't want to be a part of these conversations at all. And I think in the long run, that's what's made this YouTube channel so special for everybody, because they saw something special in every video I would go on to create. I perceive this as an honor and a chance to share with you my story, and for your chance to share your story with me about how you were a fan of Descendants of Zombies, which ultimately brought us that much closer together, because I undeniably saw something special in Freya. She was undeniably gorgeous. She was so full of talent. She was so vibrant, and she was so appreciative of these moments she had to share with each and every one of you. And that's what's made her so special for many people, who obviously took something special away from Freya every single time they heard her sing. Every single time they had the chance to see her perform, and in Leg 2 of the Stars Align World Tour, it gives us something even more to be excited about. If you haven't got your tickets, they are on sale now. There are limited seating still available for many dates that Freya has in Leg 2 of her tour scheduled. Leg 1 was phenomenal. It was sold out every night. Everywhere Freya went, it was so difficult to get her hands on a ticket. But the thing is, Freya is really precious. Freya is somebody who is making a name for herself in this industry, and you can't really have time to criticize Freya, because Freya is exceeding all of our expectations as reviewers. I wanted to be that one guy who always says something nice about Freya, to give not only fans incentive, but to give Freya herself incentive, hoping that one day Freya would see these videos, hoping that they would know that the encouragement was coming from a guy who truly did believe in Descendants of Zombies. Just didn't say he was a fan of Descendants of Zombies, but always backed up his claim. I may not have the Descendants of Zombies posters, or I may not have a lot of Descendants of Zombies merch as part of my YouTube channel backdrop. It is very expensive. But the thing is, all you've ever needed is a heart. And as long as you got that, that's all you've ever needed to win the hearts of every fan of Descendants of Zombies out there. I put a lot of my passions on display for Sonic the Hedgehog and things like video games that were represented by Disney's most successful franchises for many years. And I've loved sharing my passions with each and every one of you, because all I've ever seemed to have is one hope: that somebody out there was going to hit my subscribe button for my relatable content, my lovable videos, and just because this guy had a heart, that he wanted to share a piece of it with you guys, because he too was a fan of Descendants of Zombies just like each and every one of you. I can't lie, I fell in love with the original cast and their stories of Mal and Evie, and just how close-knit they were together as friends. And then eventually came Red and Chloe into our lives, and our opinions about Descendants of Zombies obviously varied. There were a lot of people who felt very differently about the OG cast and this new cast and the new take on the franchise and the direction it was headed in. Nobody really ever wanted to give Kylie Control much of a chance. I saw that in a lot of early on reviews that were posted about her, and I wanted to do something nice for Kylie, and I wanted to let her know that everything was going to be okay, along with all of her fans, because you guys were forever supportive of her, and that was something that was undeniable to me. And you were forever supportive of Freya Sky taking over the lead of one of the Zombies characters, Nova, of course Nova Bright, who holds a very special place in our hearts for the obvious reasons. She's talented, she's so full of energy, and she's so appreciative of the moment she's created with all of you, and that she gets to share with each and every one of you. That was something that was taken away from the Worlds Collide Tour. to her this past summer when Freya Sky stepped onto that stage for some of the first times, some of the first moments she got to share in the tour with each and every one of you, and we all took something special away from it. We all felt captivated. I can't lie. I felt very captivated by Freya's performances, and I always saw something special in her dedication to each and every one of you when it came to either doing PR to promote the tour, something Freya Sky had happening for her own career from her own perspective. It was really amazing seeing Freya Sky really become such a phenomenon. She is well on her way to becoming the next Taylor Swift, and I've presented this argument many times because if you want to talk about a future star, it's got to be Freya Sky. It has to be Kylie Cantrell because, I mean, these stars are the last of a generation. They are something we've held on to. We've never wanted to say goodbye. I have a question. You know, if everybody is so critical about this new cast, why does it seem like everybody can't get enough of this new cast? Why does it seem or feel like, at least from my perspective, that everybody loves them so much? It's not about accepting them because they are the cast members we have to accept. It's because we've wanted to accept them into our lives and we've wanted them to be a part of our lives for what feels like forever. They are by far, you can say what you want about this new cast, they are one of the most relatable casts that I have ever had the chance to profile, and I've profiled many of them. From Victorious to iCarly to Sam and Cat, you name it. I profiled it. And I've been a huge fan of everything Disney and everything Nickelodeon likewise. But this cast truly is breathtaking and truly blows my mind. If there's one cast I could highly recommend for you and your family members to watch, it would be Descendants of Zombies. You know, years ago, I used to look forward to seeing The Wonderful World of Disney air on Sunday nights. It didn't air very often, but it used to air every Sunday for a number of years, and I used to watch it every Sunday. And years ago, it was prided off the Disney Renaissance era where they would show classic Disney movies or Disney specials every Sunday. They would kind of change it up. And I remember growing up a fan of the Disney Renaissance era and thinking that Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella stories being told for some of the first times ever that I saw them in my life being one of the most beautiful stories that could have ever been told. And now 75 and a half years later, we're seeing Malia Baker do a fabulous job bringing the daughter of Prince Charming and Cinderella to life in a way that I don't think anybody who could ever been given that honor could have a chance of doing it. And she's doing a phenomenal job. I give her a profound amount of respect, and I've shown that same respect to Kylie Cantrell. I know there have been a lot of ridiculous rumors posted about their friendship, but why can't we just give them a chance? Why can't girls just be friends, and why can't guys just understand that all girls want to do is be friends with each other and spend every moment they have with each other together because they understand each other better than probably a guy ever would. The thing why girls' relationships are so close and why they never seem to go their separate ways is because they remain friends for forever because they understand each other. And until guys can understand that, they will never take away a greater appreciation for how much a relationship actually means to that girl. Because all that girl ever wants to do, even if it's with her girlfriends, is make everybody around her happy. And I think that that's why some of these relationships that we hear talked about all the time never seem to work out for the better, because while Kylie Cantrell may have wanted something more out of her relationship with Malachi, he wanted something completely different, and as it's been said many times, opposites attract. But how he may have felt about Kylie Cantrell has never been any reflection on how I felt about Kylie Cantrell and how I thought she was really a special person. I also think Malachi is a special person, but as I've often said, everybody is different, and that's what creates diversity. If everybody was the same and felt the same about, let's say, Descendants of Zombies for argument's sake, then the world would be a pretty boring place if everybody loved that one character. If everybody loved Red and her portrayal done by Kylie Cantrell, or Mal, her portrayal done by Dove Cameron, it would be a pretty boring place if everybody's opinion was the same. Because that's what creates conversation. That's what allows people to leave comments. That's what allows people to engage and feel more engaged than ever before, because Descendants of Zombies was the first ever franchise or franchises that you felt a part of, that you felt special because of, and nobody deserves to take that away from you. So I think that if you are a fan of Kylie Cantrell, then you should have more power to be that fan and feel confident in being the fan of Kylie Cantrell that you are, or the fan of Freya Sky, because she is undeniably beautiful. The number of wardrobe changes she went through during her performances during Leg 1 of the Stars Align World Tour were countless. And I don't even know how the girl did it. She came out on stage performing in a different dress every night, and they were beautiful. And her performances were beautifully collaborated. The people who assisted in bringing this tour to life deserve rewards and deserve to be honored, because making Freya Sky into the superstar that she is, that deserves to be commended and that deserves to be honored. But again, it comes back to each and every one of you and how much you believed in her. I will never forget the final performance of Leg 1 when she came down over these steps backstage. So the way the set that works is there are these huge stairs that you have to climb up over to get onto the stage, and either you come up through the stage or you just walk it onto the stage. But I remember years ago when I used to be covering pro wrestling, the steps that you would have to go up over were huge because either the entrances would come from above the stage or they would come from underneath the stage, or you would just walk out onto this huge platform. So I remember the night that Freya Sky walked down from the Hammerstein Ballroom off of these steps, and she embraced one of the stage crew members in a hug, and she was emotionally overcome with so much warmth because she was so appreciative of all of her fans just being there, coming out of love and support for her, and just showing an incredible amount of warmth towards her. I don't even think she expected to be so well received by thousands of people. And again, it comes back to each and every one of you and how much you believed in her, because you truly allowed Freya to be considered a part of something special, to have a legacy cemented for forever and always. Because I think that one of the most beautiful character stories that was ever told in the Zombies franchise had to have been Nova Bright's. I know that Addison's story will forever and always hold a very special place in our hearts, but to me, it seemed like nobody really ever gave Addison enough credit. She was a beautiful character that I saw something really extraordinary in, and I wanted the world to know that. Because I've often said that you should never be afraid to let the world know how you truly feel about something such as special as Descendants of Zombies. And I always saw something special in Meg Donnelly's abilities, no matter how hard she was on herself, and how critics felt the same way, because that's the reason why Meg Donnelly felt the way that she did. She had a lot of personal and professional struggles she was going through. The girl had a lot on her plate. And I think that when I saw her, I was mind blown. And then seeing Nova Bright's character, played by Freya Sky, coming from out of nowhere, nobody really knew that much about her unless you followed her for the majority of your lifetime, which a lot of people have who are diehard fans of Freya, who know everything there is to know, probably know more than I ever do. I think that this is really something beautiful we're setting ourselves up for, this story between Malachi and Freya, because it's not only a story that we see in front of the camera, it's a story we see off of the camera, and that gives us a greater appreciation for just how incredibly supportive they are of each other. There are hundreds of girls who are subscribed here to this YouTube channel who are incredibly supportive of their friendship. They put it in posts all the time. They put it on display for the whole world to see. And the one thing I've noticed about you guys are you are incredibly supportive of them. And I want you to do this for me. If you do one thing for me, I don't know how many people watch these videos, but if you do one thing for me, I would love for you to continue to be incredibly supportive of their friendship, because that's what they need from you. And that's what they will allow them to become the greatest superstars of all time and one of the greatest power couples we've ever seen in the history of Disney. Because I've seen some of the greatest power couples of all time kind of crash and burn, either crash or burn, or fade off into obscurity, because it has everything to do with your guys' love and support, and you've obviously seen something special in everything that Freya Sky and Malachi Burton have represented, and I commend you for that. I have always believed that I have the chance of entertaining the greatest fandom in the entire world, in the entire universe, if never the galaxy. I'm going to see Super Mario Galaxy on April 1st, so I think I can steal their tagline and their promotional tagline of how even when the universe seems so big, there is a galaxy out there that's even bigger, and this galaxy is full of Descendants of Zombies fans who are incredibly supportive of them. They are some of the strongest people, actors and actresses, I've ever had the chance to profile. I perceived it as an honor because that's what it is for me. That's what it's always been. And I think as more people continue to fall in love with Descendants of Zombies, we can all take something special away from this, because together, as reviewers, as fans, we've come together and we've created something special to give back to the Descendants of Zombies community, this incredible fandom that's forever and always been supportive of me. I always go out of my way to make sure there's at least one new video about Descendants of Zombies uploaded every day, no matter what's going on with me. Because I've got tremendous heart for Descendants of Zombies, and I've always seen something special in the product. And I've always taken away something special from these characters and their stories. That may have came in the form of me believing in zombie apocalypses or alien invasions happening at any given moment. But again, that's what allows you to bring these videos to life. Knowing that you can sit in front of this microphone with this camera turned on, feeling more confident than you ever have before, because you have tremendous heart to showcase when it comes to Freya and Kylie, who have always been a part of our lives no matter how critics have felt about them, because your love and support is what's outshined it every single time. If there's one thing I've never wanted to be forgotten for, is my contributions to the Disney company, because I've always believed in them, especially Descendants of Zombies. because Descendants and Zombies always allowed me to be a part of something special, to truly become a part of a soundtrack after having lent my voice to it for a number of years, which eventually became the soundtrack of Descendants and Zombies. My voice has become one of the most recognizable voices in the history of Descendants and Zombies. There always seems to be something wrong with my voice because I'm suffering from the common cold every single time that I ever push record, but my voice has become one of the most recognizable voices either for having an itchy nose or suffering from the common cold every night. But that goes without saying, the appreciation and the all-time respect that I have for these stars is really off the charts and truly mind-blowing, because each and every one of you have given me something special to believe in, truly hold on to, and be incredibly supportive of every single time that I've ever had the chance to share with you my story about how I became a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I have truly had the time of my life meeting incredible fans, and I know that time is very of the essence and very short, but I got my work cut out for me, and I still have fans of Descendants and Zombies that I have yet to meet, and I look forward to meeting millions of you as we look ahead to this summer and Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland and what it has to offer. New storylines, new characters, everything all in the one. And I think it gives us more to be excited about than perhaps ever before. So if you would be a dear and hit my subscribe button and come along with me on this incredible journey, I would love you forever, man. Because the love and support that I receive from fans of Descendants and Zombies is truly incredible and uncomparable to anything else I've ever had the chance to experience. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, man, you are the coolest guy ever. I'm going to hit your subscribe button. If you are somebody who feels that because you watched this video for the first time and you feel captivated, it's always been my honor to tell you something nice about your favorite stars and the futures they have in store, because they are going to be huge ones and we are all going to be a part of them. And I look forward to being a part of them with each and every one of you, to hear your stories, to share with you my story, and hopefully some way or somehow come off as the one of the most relatable guys of all time, because that's all I've ever wanted to be. If you can't offer something special, then you should go big or go home. And the thing is, guys, I've always wanted to offer something special to these franchises while being a part of a very beautiful soundtrack. One of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever had the honor to truly experience. This has been so much fun for me. I never imagined that this YouTube channel would have went on to become everybody's favorite, but it did, because of how I felt about Freya and how I felt about Kylie and how I just wanted the world to know, and I wanted them to know that they generally were doing something special and they were being a part of something special because they deserved to be in the positions they were in. I know how difficult it is sometimes when, of course, the tour bus takes you to the next town, and then while you're waiting for the tour bus to take you to the next town, you're falling asleep and you're watching videos on your phone of some stupid YouTuber who is saying something really stupid about Descendants and Zombies that really has never made any sense. And as a result of that, what's happening is people are pretty much being made to feel the way they are. Critical reviews about Kylie Control, critical reviews about Freya Sky. I think we can do something about that. We can take that away, and we can offer something special for everybody to believe in. While this guy may be suffering from the common cold, which he thinks is a zombie infection, I think I can go out of my way to at least create something nice for Kylie Control, to give her somebody she could believe in and probably watches every night on YouTube, because I know how hard Kylie Control has been on men over the last number of years. She seems to be very, inconfident about men, and I can understand why, because of their opinions about girls obviously varying. Men are very different, and they're very difficult to understand sometimes. I get that, and I understand why Kylie Control is the way she is, and I just hope that if she does see any of these videos, she'll give me a chance to hopefully make her feel more confident in her own abilities, because she is somebody really special who definitely has something special to offer the world. And I've always believed that you should never be afraid to let the world know how you truly feel about these stars, and really put yourself out there for being a guy who is at least really supportive of who and what you believe in. Because you see, as a content creator, it is my job and my jurisdiction to listen to you. It is my duty to create content on what you want talked about and who you want discussed. So obviously, because it came in the form of Descendants and Zombies for me, and Descendants and Zombies is so special to each and every one of you, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create something special and to be a part of that something special with all of you, and some way or somehow I had the chance to do that. I think Kylie Control, by far, is one of the most beautiful people I've ever had the chance to talk about. So too do I feel the same way about Freya, and I've really supported Freya and Malachi's friendship. Even though a lot of critics have felt differently about it, I found time in appreciating that, and if you want to hear something nice about them all the time, I think you should subscribe here, because I know that hundreds of people have, and they are incredibly supportive of Freya and Malachi's friendship, just like I am. I know that forever there are people who will criticize them and say this or that about them, but it's never been any reflection on who they are as people, and I think together we can give them something to believe in, perhaps more than ever before, so they'll watch YouTube videos of themselves again, because when I see music videos like Kylie Control is creating like, say, 99, or Freya Sky's creating like The Person I Thought I Knew, they are incredible videos that deserve love and support. They did a tremendous amount of work for those videos to be what they are today and get millions of views and likes and subscribers. I wish I had just half or even a quarter of the subscribers that Freya Sky has, because as many of you know, my greatest dream and greatest wish has always seemed to be that every fan of Descendants to Zombies would eventually subscribe here, and hopefully over time that will happen. It will take time, because I know time is really precious, but the time I've spent with each and every one of you has been the greatest honor of my life. Again, guys, thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants to Zombies YouTube channel. It's hard to believe that we're already out of so much time. Time is of the essence. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants to Zombies YouTube channel, and hopefully I did what I promised you guys over the next 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes, I hope I've given you a reason to hit my subscribe button more than ever before, because you are a Freya Sky superfan and you deserve to have that honored. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants to Zombies YouTube channel, and having made Jonathan Clarke your favorite YouTube content creator, because he's always going to be here out of love and support for your favorite stars. Thank you so much for having watched this video.